Did you know that the Vatican and German astronomers both have two very powerful infrared telescopes located on Mount Graham in Arizona, whose sole purpose and job it is to study the stars, detect opening portals, and await for our, quote, space brothers of extraterrestrial origin to save humanity? Mount Graham Observatory Base Camp is 80 miles from Tucson and a few miles south of Safford on State Route 366, located near the northern limit of the Apache and Western Apache territories. This mountain is one of the four holiest mountains in America for the Apache and is considered sacred to all of the region's native peoples. On this mountain is something called the LUCIFER device, which, according to Rebecca Boyle from Popular Science magazine, states, quote, "A new instrument with an evil-sounding name is helping scientists see how the stars are born. LUCIFER stands for Large Binocular Telescope Near-Infrared Utility with Camera Integral Field Unit for Extragalactic Research, is a chilled instrument attached to a telescope in Arizona. And yes, it's named for the devil, whose name itself means morning star, and which happens to be right next to the Vatican Observatory on Mount Graham in Tucson," end quote. The new LUCIFER device is attached between its gigantic twin mirrors, either of which would be the largest optical telescope in continental North America. Its infrared spectrograph imagers are needed for studying the heavens in search of, among other things, exoplanets that may host intelligent life. About a block away from the LUCIFER device sits the Vatican Advanced Technologies Telescope. A man named Tom Horn, pastor, researcher, and filmmaker, went up to the mountain to tour the facility and was shown by a Jesuit father on that day the capabilities of the Vatican telescope and its purpose, who told them that among the most important research occurring with the site's Vatican astronomers is the search for extrasolar planets and advanced alien intelligence. In addition, Tom states that it was shocking how ordinary it was seeing all of the astronomers on Mount Graham casually talk about their experiences with capturing UFOs on their radars. I always personally thought that the Vatican was just a religious organization that was very powerful and had a lot of political and religious influence all over the world. However, they are very involved in space and astronomy, and the Pope astronomer has written books, articles about extraterrestrial life and the Vatican's search for that life. In the Pope's astronomer's book, titled, quote, "Would You Ever Baptize an Extraterrestrial?" end quote, the author, Guy, states he admits how contemporary societies will look to the aliens to be the saviors of humankind. To illustrate the theological soundness of this possibility, Guy argues that humans are not the only intelligent beings God created in the universe, and these non-human life forms are described in the Bible, such as angels and the Nephilim. Why is this all so important? Because the biggest religious organization on the planet believes that there is other intellectual and extraterrestrial life out there, and actually states in their writings and in their astronomy work that if this is true, then Christians and Catholics alike would have to reevaluate the Bible as they know it to include other species in their understanding of who God is. One astronomer for the Vatican states, quote, "Christians will not immediately need to renounce their faith in God simply on the basis of the reception of this new unexpected information of a religious character from extraterrestrial civilizations. However, once the religious content originating from outside the earth has been verified, there will have to be a rereading of the gospel inclusive to this new data," end quote. We have to remember that the Bible states that the Antichrist spirit is in the world right now and will be seated in the end time scenario. The main goal of the Antichrist is to set himself up as the world's savior and to deny Jesus and his deity. That is the Antichrist spirit that is running through these different religions, philosophies, and ideas that point people in a direction of hope and salvation other than the one true God. Jesus said that in the end times, there will be a deception so great that if it were possible, even the very elect could be deceived. It may sound strange and silly to you and I, thinking that aliens are going to be part of this end-time scenario and a great deception. But when you have the biggest religious organization in the world, like the Vatican, promoting these ideas, the governments of the world promoting these ideas, the New Age religion, Wicca, and all kinds of pagan spiritual practices growing at a rapid rate, especially amongst millennials and young people all over the world, then we have to be careful and really understand what's going on here. That yes, the majority of people will agree to whatever scenario is presented to them, and those that don't agree will be considered enemy number one. Remember, it is written in the New Age philosophy in their texts and writings that Christians will need to be purged in order for us to enter into a new pagan golden age. Even esoteric writers like Helena Blavatsky and Alice Bailey state that Christianity must be overthrown because it is based on Jewish sources, and these kinds of concepts will prohibit us from entering into this new golden age.